The next part of the program was the highlight in anybody's book. MJF, not there live in person, doing a VTR promo from the podcast. What was it? Pardon my French, or pardon my take, or whatever. Mama Cornette used to say that when she would slip out and say a or damn or something like that. She'd say, "Pardon my French."
To you, or to the general public?
Well, to me, or to the whoever happened to be around at the time. But anyway, it was an incredible interview, and I want everybody to go back and watch this again for one simple reason. Everything that he said not only made sense, it put the pay-per-view match over, it put himself over, it illustrated his goals and things he wants to achieve. But if you know that wrestling is a work, this promo worked. But if you didn't, nothing that he said outright made you realize that it was a work. And think about that's difficult to do. He didn't pander to the obsessive play wrestling fans that want to make sure that everybody knows it's all phony. And at the same time, he didn't insult the real wrestling fans that don't want the guys going out there saying bullshit, phony, stupid things. Everything he said, there was enough truth in it that people know to be true, the old Jerry Jarrett analogy, that when he finally did start working a little bit, it was seamless. You couldn't tell the difference. And he promoted what he needed to promote, and he didn't spend all of his time on Stokely and the Firm. He spent his time on Moxley and his match, and also talking about how he was going to get even for all the people that keep upstaging him. Every time he has a triumph, it's upstaged by a neck tattoo, or Matt Hardy being brain damaged, or, and he said, Chris Jericho stole the spotlight from me for a full calendar year. So he knows what was going on. He just didn't have the fucking cachet in the industry at that point to do anything about it. Now I believe he does. And he wasn't talking like somebody that's about to switch babyface, which we were all afraid of because of the jealousy over him being the exceptional performer in the company now, and everybody trying to make sure that that doesn't go further so they can keep their spots. This was fucking a promo. It was fucking great. And he finishes up at Full Gear, the devil gets his due. And goddamn it, he better. His Moxley's been fine for, he's got a name from the WWF. People around the world know him. That audience and fan base for AEW likes him because he's garbage wrestling minded like they are. But I think MJF needs to win this thing and make them a real homegrown world champion that everybody's into, that they want to hear talk and want to see and want to be involved with, instead of more of the same shit that we've had from Moxley for the last few years. He's never going to change. It's the same fucking thing. Let's see what MJF can do with it. That's hopefully my prediction or projection or pick.
Okay.
What'd you think of this promo, young Brian?
I mean, he's the best talker in the business. He is the biggest thing AEW has going for it right now. It's a little awkward, I would think, for the people in the studio because he's staring right at the camera while he's doing this and everyone else is just sitting there, but that's another thing. I think we all know that turning him babyface is a massive mistake, even if people just all show up and bring their babies and say, kiss my baby. They all love him. Whatever it is, it's a mistake.
And then he looks down and he says, of course you want me to kiss your baby. It's the only time in the miserable, wretched thing's life that it'll ever have interaction with greatness. And he'd kiss the baby.
You know, this interview is a great example. And we've seen, like, people keep sending stuff in of him doing various interviews all over the place. Out of everyone in AEW, if you do put the belt on MJF, which I assume they're going to because it's the only right thing to do, which may be a clue that they won't do it, but who knows? He could do publicity. He can go out there and do every morning show. He could talk to every radio show host, whatever it may be. He could do it. It's natural. It works. And no one promotes the company better than him. Who that does publicity for AEW ever promotes AEW better than him? It hit me the other day watching something.
Well, and then also just for a new wrestling franchise to bring out its champion on a mainstream television program, and here's this young guy in his mid-20s, good-looking, well-spoken, intelligent, articulate. You can show clips. His matches are fucking great. Or you bring out this balding, haggard-looking fucking bum who people have seen on Twitter fucking rolling around in goddamn barbed wire and being bashed with light tubes and looks like shit physically and attractiveness. And he's 15 years older.
I'll take you to a dark place and drink your blood.
Yeah,
Crack your bones.
You could a person who doesn't know wrestling could buy MJF as a young, successful professional athlete. Moxley looks like Moxley, a fucking middle-aged, fucking balding, not impressive physically bum that does garbage matches. There you have it. Anyway, but the only thing was right after we saw the MJF interview, there's a video of Stokely wandering around Baltimore at night, pissed off at MJF. So there's going to be more involvement in that. I'm thinking, okay, there's a wild card. Is there somebody planning that Stokely could get all kinds of heat by costing MJF the title, and then MJF could go after revenge against Stokely's guy?
Against who? Against W. Morrissey?
Yeah, I would also like to have both of my testicles pinned down to a fucking board and hammered with a goddamn claw hammer, as well as see what I just talked about. But it makes me trepidatious. And apparently now you can say Dick Rider on television. Did you notice that?
I guess it matters if it's one word or two.
Well, what about if it's a Christian name? Guy named first name Dick, last name Ryder.
Hans Christian Dick Rider.
Hans Christian Dick Rider.
You know, the Stokely stuff, like, I feel bad for the position he's in. It's just none of this worked. And we were somewhere in the middle of the first match, and I think one of the commentators said it, and I had forgotten. The Guns are in the firm. I'd forgotten all about that. I just figured they were in this tag team feud. I forgot they were part of this clique. Or this faction. I don't know. I hope this is the only thing that could kind of damper some of this MJF Moxley stuff.
Yeah, and Stokely's a good manager. I wish he could get more talent in his firm, but I hope the firm is not very firm, because the Guns need to be off on their own. Nobody gives two fucking shits about W. Morrissey or the other Page. And what's the guy's name with green hair?
Lee Moriarty.
There you go.
Hey, does anyone feel like shooting something down at the harbor tonight? Yeah, I'll go. I got nothing to do.